like being given a tongue and told you can never taste anything.
I think this woman here tried, at least she asked questions on what she didn't understand about Islam. She didn't just leave Islam like how so many others do, that if they don't understand a little thing about Islam, or there are some verses of the Quran which they don't understand in Islam, what people normally do if they don't understand a little thing in the Quran is that they leave Islam without asking questions about what they don't understand for proper understanding. But at least this woman here went further to inquire about what she didn't understand in Islam. She felt it's not fair to treat those who have the homosexual orientation as criminals, since it's never their choice to become a homosexual. She believed they were created that way and it's not their fault to become homosexual. They didn't choose to become homosexual. She felt, why should Allah create people with such orientation and then asking them not to act upon it? After all, they were created as homosexual. So she feels, why should God punish them for what they never choose to be? It's not their fault to become homosexual. They didn't create themselves and they didn't choose to have such orientation. So therefore, why should God punish them for what He had made them to be? That they didn't choose to do that. But what she failed to understand is that they didn't choose to become homosexuals, but they have the choice to either act upon the homosexualism or not. So after asking Muslims these questions, she was told that it's a test from Allah, and those who have such orientation have to be patient with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that it's a test from Allah and they have to be patient so that they will be able to pass Allah's test and be one of those who are successful in the day of judgment. But even after this explanation, she still feels that it's not fair, it's not proper for God the Almighty to punish them for acting upon that. But I think there is something she didn't understand about the test of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and being patient with the test of Allah, so that you may be among those who are successful and truthful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah said in Surah Al-Ankabut, Quran 29 verse 2, that أَحَسِبَ النَّاسُ أَن يُتْرَكُوا أَن يَقُولُوا آمَنَّا وَهُمْ لَا يُفْتَنُونَ. He said, do people think once they say we believe that they will be left without being put to the test? Allah will surely test everyone no matter who you are. Even the prophets, may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon them, we are all tested. They were even the one that received the highest test from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah tests everyone and Allah gives everyone different tests. Some are higher than the others. We can see in the next verse the reason why Allah tests people in order to see whether they are patient or not. Allah said in the next verse of same surah, that is Quran 29 verse 3, that we certainly tested those before them. And in this way, Allah will clearly distinguish between those who are truthful and those who are liars. This is exactly the reason why Allah is testing everyone, especially the believers, so that He will be able to distinguish between those who are truthful and those who are liars. You can't just say you believe in Allah and the last day and you expect Allah to leave you like that and admit you into paradise simply because you said it with the mouth that you believe in Allah and the last day. Because if Allah leaves it that way, which means everyone, both those who are hypocrites and the wicked ones, will say they believe in Allah just to enter paradise, but in their heart they never believe. So that is why in order for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to differentiate between those who are liars and those who are truthful, Allah needs to test everyone. And Allah tests people differently. Allah may test you with your health, Allah may test you with your wealth, children, family, your work, and anything. Allah can test you with anything He wishes. Even this homosexualism, it's a test from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to see if you will be able to distance yourself from it, if He asks you to leave it, because this is clearly haram. Yes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created them with such orientation, but that doesn't mean that if Allah asks them not to do it, they will still keep on doing it. This is same as saying that, for example, if someone says he has feelings, romantic feelings for married women and children, so does that mean that he should go on and start having sex with them simply because he has feelings for them? You know, he could say that Allah created him as a pedophile, so he has no choice to distance himself from it. So you don't say that simply because Allah created someone as a homosexual, so therefore he has to act upon it, even though Allah says it's haram for him to do that. But he wants to do it and he have to do it because it's not his choice to become a homosexual. Allah created him to become a homosexual. And also there are so many other things that you don't have to do it simply because Allah created you that way. Allah created people differently. Some are leopard, they don't have legs. Some they don't have eyes. Some can't speak. Some have family, but they lose their family overnight. And so many other things. You can't use this as an opportunity and say Allah created you like this, so therefore you have no choice not to do it. You can't say Allah created you this way, so therefore you have no choice. You have to do this in order to compensate yourself. You can't say that because Allah created people differently and Allah gave everyone different tastes. So the homosexuals are indifferent. Even if it's not their fault, it's not their choice to become a homosexual, they have to still obey Allah. And that is when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be able to differentiate whether they are liars or they are truthful. If Allah asks them not to do this, will they still do it? Will they obey Allah or they will disobey Allah? There are so many ways Allah can test people. Like for example, in Quran 2 verse 155, Allah said, "We will certainly test you with a touch of fear and famine, and loss of property, lives and crops. Give good news to those who patiently endure." This is how Allah tests people in different ways, and those who are patient will be successful in the day of judgment. If Allah don't test people at all, and in the day of judgment Allah gathered some group of people and asked them to move to the hellfire, and Allah put them in the hellfire, everyone will start complaining. They will say, what did they do? They are this, they are that, they believe in Allah, they do this, they do that. Why should Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put them in the hellfire? But with this as an evidence, if they say they believe in Allah, Allah tests them and they show their true identity that this is what they are. They are liars and they are not truthful. They say they believe in Allah, Allah tests them, and in the course of the test, they run away from Islam. They say they have left Islam, they do no longer believe in Islam because of this, because of that. Or Allah says, you shouldn't do this, but you say you will do it. Why should Allah say you shouldn't do it? Since Allah will ask you not to do it, which means He is not merciful, and therefore you will not believe in the God that is not merciful. This is a test, and then you fail the test woefully. So with this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be able to differentiate between those who are liars and those who are truthful in the day of judgment. And this will be Allah's evidence. So you can't say this is not fair simply because Allah tested them with homosexual. Allah have tested people differently. Allah tests people in different ways. Allah tests some people by taking away all their family, their wife, children, wealth, houses, and everything. This kind of people, some of them go ahead to commit suicide, some of them go ahead to renounce their religion and so on. But these are tests from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Some will have an accident, they will lose their legs, lose their hands, lose some part of their body. Some will become paralyzed for a very long time. All these are tests. Some will be given birth to without eyes or without nose, without hands, legs, and so on. These are tests from Allah. And some will be born into abstract poverty to the extent that they will be moving on the street begging people for food. These are tests from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As for me, if you ask me, homosexualism is one of the easiest tests from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because you can easily say, yes, this is my orientation, but I'm not going to follow that way because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala prohibits it. So therefore, I'm going to suppress my desire, and you are done with it. Compared to someone that loses billions of US dollars and whatever they ever own on this earth overnight. So let's